Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Cultist Simulator. This is the game that we're having a look at today. It's an old favourite of mine. It's been with the channel for a long time. And the guys that made this, the Weather Factory, are doing Book of Hours. I'm eagerly anticipating it as a pseudo sequel, spiritual successor, essentially their next product, or project, sorry. And there should be a demo build for it available for the next fest, which is out in the next couple of days. So we'll probably have a look at that. But in anticipation, I thought we'd look at this. So this game is a Cthulhu-heavy, very eldritchy cult simulator that plays out on a sort of card-based tabletop. The only thing that I can think of that comes close to it is Stacklands, which came out recently, and that's also a fantastic game. But this idea of sort of progressing your narrative, your inventory, your interpersonal relationships, locations, all of this sort of very difficult to make tangible mechanics all play out in this sort of card-based timer system where you just slot things into holes. You know, you've got a work slot and you put cards into that and you work on them, that sort of thing. It's very cool. There's a lot of DLC. The Exile is a personal favourite of mine, very different game mode. These are more just different starts. We've reset the whole save, so we're just going to begin from the beginning, and, you know, if people enjoy this, then we'll roll with it, you know, we'll stick with it. The Aspirant, alone in this city, chilly city, with my useless education and my dreams. What now? Could I become something more? Click to name. Let's call him Gronk. Now, interestingly, you can die in this, right? An example is that if you get sick and then you don't cure the sickness, you can die. If you don't pay the rent and you starve to death, all this sort of stuff. So there is a doom death component to it. You get chased by the police and all that as well. They're not really big on you murdering people and starting cults, which I can sort of understand that. But if that does happen and we have to start another playthrough, who knows? We might do 200 episodes of this. You guys got to let me know if that's what you want. Then potentially you can be like the police investigator that was following Gronk, and Gronk's files keep coming up in the playthrough. So there's this sort of kick-on component to it. It's very cool. Put it on fast forward, but we'll pause. Unpause. I guess pause doesn't really matter at the moment. All right, so yeah, let's just break it down. We have a card. Menial employment. A precarious position as a hospital porter. Miserable, but it's all that you can find just for now. And we've got work, earn a living or practice the invisible arts. And essentially, you can click on this and it'll give you a hint of what cards. You can end up with hundreds of cards. But essentially, you click on that, gives you an idea, jam that in the work hole, another shift at the hospital. So menial employment into the work. Activator gives you this. All right, you can sort of intuit it, and that's actually a good way of putting it. A lot of the way this game works is on an intuitive basis. It works really well. Another shift, mopping the darkened hallways, delivering posts to hollow-eyed invalids. Oh my God, I'm tripping over my tongue. Trundling corpse-laden gurneys to the basement. The writing is something else, and I'm not doing it justice right now, but bear with me. We'll shake it out. All right, let's pause. Another shift to the hospital. Halfway through your shift, the head porter beckons you aside. We won't require your services any longer, he says. Here, your last payment. We paid you through to the end of the month. I've lost my job. At least now I have a little time to rest and my health improves. Dream is unlocked. We've also unlocked this. Funds and health. Sort of currencies. Well, funds is probably a pretty obvious one, but health is more of a core statistic. One of three, basically. You'll get the hang of it as we figure it all out. And I think I might be able to change all this spacing. Over the years, they've been patching that sort of stuff. Would it be clarity? Sound? Keys? Sight? Windowed? Accessible card text? Oh. Grid snap size. What's half a card? What's half a card? Has it got to do with this? Okay, yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. All right, cool. So now we've got this. Recall my dreams. Once again, I dream of a glow beneath the filthy skin of the world. The light through the black wood, the pale door, the old man. Okay, yeah, cool. This seems like a healthy individual, very well adjusted. So we're going to wait for that to unlock. But in the meantime, we could actually use health for work, which is unskilled labor. If you think about it, right? We're using up our health point to earn a living. Backbreaking work for meager pay. Is this the best that I can do? Well, for the time being, probably yeah, to be honest. All right, so let's let this play out. Here we go. Recall my dreams. It began when I spoke to the old man in the hospital. He knew my name, but he's dead now. The pneumonia. Why do I dream of him still? What is the cobalt light in my dreams? So we've unlocked contentment and passion. Now, passion is another one of these pseudo-core stats. You can see we've got one down there as well, just like, what do you call this? Vitality? Or health, I think it is. Contentment is a temporary bonus. It gives us these aspects, which we'll get into later, but all cards tend to have aspects associated with them. Essentially, it's a very powerful card, but it only lasts 60 seconds in-game for you to actually do something with it. Now, we've also unlocked this, which is a change in the air. I need funds to live, but perhaps this recent upset in my circumstances is a secret blessing. Is there something to my dreams? There is a change in the air. Cool. So that's sort of unlocking something. In the meantime, we can dream. We could dream with funds, which is to say we buy opiates to help us sleep. Not a great move, and I think mostly you do it to generate contentment. You can use contentment. I'll have to remember all the interplays. Oh my god. But you can use it to like cancel dread. You know, there are certain cards that if they build up, they can cause you issues, you know, health problems, that sort of stuff, and you sort of counterplay them with things like that. I think we'll dream of passion. The moonlit road. I know this dream. A road crests a hilltop, and the air is silver bright. So when you have these sort of imprint splashes, that means that you've kind of made a progress, a bit of milestone in the game. Lore is, we could add an additional lore card. If I engage in occult practice before I sleep, I might find the way to a deeper dream. Fortunately, we don't really have any such things, so we'll just go with vanilla. God, it's cool to be playing this again. I have missed this. So this could be a one and done just to show off the game, but if people find this interesting and they want us to dive a bit deeper, then I will oblige. You can see here, time passes. Time, the sundial's shadow, passes. I must have funds to live or I will become ill. So this is a sort of doom timer thing that just pops in from time to time. You can see it sucked out one of our $2. And if you don't pay up, consequences. So it keeps you honest, right? The course of the heart. Whenever the principle of the heart is implicated, I may gain vitality. Okay, sure. Well, we'll just leave that be for the moment. Unskilled labor. The day is done and so am I, but I've earned my pay. So we've gotten a funds there. We've exhausted our health, which you can sort of see noted here, 0 and 1. So we have a health card, but for the moment it can't be used. It's tapped. And then we've got vitality, which is like a temporary health card. Exercise or something rarer has invigorated me. Use with another vitality to improve your abilities. It lasts only 3 minutes. So this is sort of like a prerequisite to leveling up your health, but you need more. You need more vitality. Okay, what can we do here? Unless somehow I've unlocked lore, I don't think I have. I could do work. I can't really, I don't have any cards for it. So we'll just let it all play out for the moment. Now these have ticked over. We've lost our contentment. A bequest arrives. A letter from a solicitor. The old man at the hospital, the one I dream of, has named me in his will. I'll hear more soon. So again, it already has that sort of, whatever you want to call it, Cthulhu, Eldritch, Lovecraftian, that vibe. There's something weird going on and we're going to pull on the thread. The crowds of sleep, rumpled fields, the wink of a river, a tingling chill. Okay, cool. So that's our dream developed forward without the lore piece. I don't know what any of this crap means, but that's okay. Her salt's nightmare, down I go. Wonderful. What's this here? Dread. Oh, okay. Goodness gracious. Yep. Oh, here we go. Course of the Heart earned us a vitality. So I think if you engage with, vitality, there's a chance that you just generate this, which is exactly what we've done. You can't stack these. Oh, maybe you can. Oh no, that's the half card thing. Ah, that's handy. So they're not stacked explicitly, but I can group them together, which is nice. What does this work? No, there's not much I can do about that. Okay, here we go. Hersalt's Nightmare. I remember that Hersalt wrote of this. I've levered up floorboards and wriggled down snugly. Now I am compressed beneath them like a hidden corpse. The air stinks of hot dust. My mouth is full of splinters. This time I haven't learnt what I hoped to learn, whatever that was. Okay, right, so I think the idea is, and as cool as all the writing is, when they do wax poetic so aggressively, you can lose the thread. So we've essentially had a nightmare. We've come out the other side with dread generated. What you want to do is sort of go to the dreamscape, the Mansus, I think it is. It's sort of a place within dreams. You try and get a bit of guidance there, but it looks like we didn't make it. I've seen too much. A nameless gnawing fear has its teeth in my hopes, an existential horror. So we kind of want to get rid of this if we can help it. Might cause despair. Well, we don't want that. Okay, so dream. We've exhausted our passion because of the dream. Now, you could dream of fatigued health to try and recover it, but it's only got 20 seconds left on the timer. We may as well leave it be. Dream of dread, eh? Clear my mind. I remember that I was different, but I can't recall how. So if we had a contentment, we could clear the dread. I'm slightly tempted to opium it up, Purchase a tincture of opium. In times of a special crisis, I might visit a discreet pharmacist to purchase a tincture of opium to make my dreams sweet, but only in times of a special crisis. This is an expensive and risky way to gain contentment. It might provoke sickness or despair. I just worry about that dread, that's all. Bugger it, let's plug it in. If anything, it's a learning experience. Okay. A bequest arrives. The old man has bequeathed me a sum of money and a packet of peculiar papers, poetries, riddles, metaphysical speculations. For the first time in months, here is some fuel for my reason. So we've got a shitload of money, so that's nice. We've unlocked a bequest to be interrogated, and reason, our final sort of exhaustible, right? I guess we could sort of plonk that up there, right? I could probably put this down here. See, now we got to start thinking about how we're going to organize everything. Yeah. We'll go with that for the moment. A bequest, you say? A package of peculiar papers from my correspondence executor. I must study it using either passion or reason. I don't remember the game being so explicit telling you how to solve things. And this is for the better, right? Again, for some, the writing might be a bit masturbatory, and that's fine. If you're going to go down this path, that criticism will come, all right? I personally find it pretty cool, but because of the sort of vague waxing of it, it can be a bit difficult to sort of divine what's going on, right? You can miss it out. So I kind of do appreciate that they've dumbed it down for we the people, right? So we could study, and as much as I wanted to study the bequest, what I'm going to do is study the vitality, because we just happen to have two. Increase my health, exercise the body. I am abrim with vitality. If I devoted some time to exercise, I'll benefit. So we'll do that, and hopefully we can generate another health card, which would be particularly helpful. You can't just abuse that forever. The cost of doing this increases each time. So that's why I thought it was probably worth doing it now. And we can use reason for work. Find clerical work. Find work which will spare my body, if not my mind. Look at that. Seems to be a bit of a step in the right direction. Looks like this bloody time passes things, snatching more of me money. Find clerical work. Glover and Glover have offered me a junior position. I start at 8 sharp tomorrow morning. Wonderful. Got the reason back, unexhausted. And we've got a junior position at Glover and Glover. My intellect should be put to better use, but the pay is better than labourer's work. If you don't attend this job regularly, you may suffer a demotion. So we're going to have to think about that. Well, work, what else are we going to do? I don't believe working with reason can be done again. Yeah, because we've already got the job. And I guess we could do labour, or we could go to this actual job that we got, right? The scratching of pens, the sourness of dust, the sighing of the younger Glover, the greedy gurgling of the elder. Diligence. We could use reason to apply diligence. We could actually work harder. That I will apply extra effort. Perhaps they'll appreciate it. Now, I think there's dice rolls going on in the background. Like, that doesn't guarantee squat. However, it's a chance that it pushes on to the next event. I'm pretty sure there is like an RNG component. Of course there is, right? Like, this won't necessarily work. Yeah, what am I talking about? Of course there's an RNG component. Oh, that deep peace, but I should not do this again. So we've got that contentment. And what we'll do is we'll dream of dread, and we should be able to use contentment to clear my mind. I remember that I was different before. Man, this is cool coming back to this. It's kind of why I do this channel. I like all this wild, unusual stuff, man. Don't get me wrong, I like AAA collectathons as much as the next bloke, but there's some pretty cool stuff out there. I've grown stronger. I've gained health, but it'll be more difficult to gain health next time. So you can still see there, skill, a stronger physique. Now I have 2 health cards, which is pretty handy dandy. Now if I were to study that, a lesson learnt, right, consumes its contents. Am I ready to grow stronger? Well, not really, right? We could use passion for study, but I think we should open this bequest. And the approach we will apply is one of passion, because that's what we have. I'll read, theorise, pace, sketch, clutch at my hair in wonder, rise in elation, collapse in despair. Alright, let's do just that. Keep grubbing my money. Now what's this going on here? Bleak thoughts. Dark days, I must be careful not to let my doubts creep in. Dread may provoke full-fledged despair. So this would vacuum in dread if we had it. Lucky we cancelled it. Hopefully we don't generate any in the next 60 seconds game time. A promotion! Mr. Olden, the supervisor of records, has called me into his office to recognise my diligence. I watch the mole on his neck as he talks and talks and talks, but at the end of it, I have a promotion. My new position is better paid, and the desk stands by the street window, but I work directly for Mr. Olden now, and Mr. Olden is known to be exacting. So my reason is dimmed. My position at Glover and Glover, here you go, a position in records under Mr. Olden. I earn a little more, I stay a little later. Mr. Olden always watches me closely. All right, so we've had a promotion go into that card. Look at that, we've got $2. Let's go. Now, what can we do for work? Skill, stronger physique. Oh, I have grown strong, but I must still devote my health to a day's work. Oh, right, so I can use this stronger physique. Unskilled labour, arms of bronze to work then. Yeah, let's do it. Let's put my stronger physique to use. Not that I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. Clear my mind. The sun still moves, the wind still walks. My journals are the labyrinth clue. Fleeting reminiscence. A moment of time, in another moment it'll be gone. Again, like the stuff we've covered, a fairly powerful, temporary item that can be put to use. What can we dream of? Dream of health. An early night. With luck I'll wake refreshed. Sometimes this will provide contentment. Often it will do nothing, and occasionally it will create dread or fascination. I mean, do we roll the dice? Do we really tempt fate? Yes, of course. Well, it's going to take 60 seconds anyway, so that'll go away before then. Examine my bequest, employing passion, My correspondent describes my dreams exactly. They use names that are instantly familiar. The house, the wood, the hours, the glory. I sense here a power that generals and kings would envy. A new desire burns in me. There is a note here, directions to a bookshop that does not advertise its wares. All right, cool. We're going down the rabbit hole, Alice. So we've got directions to Morelands. We've got note on a possible collaborator. We have temptation power. We have a Smith's secret. So this is a lore piece, and these are pretty core to the game. You collect them, you combine them together to upgrade them. They're a big part of it. Let's see. What are we going to study? Let us study, fleeting reminiscence. What can I get from that? It might be possible with the right combination of influences to raise more power. It seems I don't have any of the important prerequisites. Perhaps direction to... Now, you see like the Smith's secret, you'd need another Smith's secret to combine them together. Let's go direction to Morelands. The direction to Morelands shop, a cryptic. When one deals in the kind of books my correspondent studied, one must be circumspect. Okay. We'll just let the clock tick. So I think you're probably getting the gist of the game. Again, it's not going to be for everyone, but it's for me. Find Moreland's shop, an ill-lit street at an ill-favoured bend in a lesser river. A soft yellow light, through a grimy window. Miss Moreland nods as I enter but doesn't rise. I never ask the names of my clients, she informs me, before I have time to introduce myself. Explore is unlocked and Moreland's shop is also unlocked. You can see it's got like the silver text, and this is a permanent location. In fact, you can click here, an aspect location, right? And then here we have Explore unlocked. Now that I've found a location, I can explore it. We've got an occult scrapped, which is a little bit different to most of the other scrap types. There's lots of different colors and suits, whatever you want to call them. But with the occult scrap, you can actually exhaust it to try and find locations. It's particularly useful. What we will do is go notes on a collaborator to study. I have a name, a description, a few tantalizing details, but there are 1,000 faces in this city. So let's let that play out and explore. So, fleeting reminiscence. What can I do with that? My thoughts will wander and I will follow. Old emotions will come to roost. Well, let's try that out before it expires. Let's see what comes of it. Okay, ticking clock. Now what's this? Trysts and interludes. If I have a particular friend, now is the time to renew our connection. Well, I have no friends, tragically. Oh. The clouds part, the wolf despair prowls elsewhere. No dread empowers this despair, it's over for now. Oh, we got another fleeting reminiscence, so the dread thing's gone away, which is great. Unskilled laboured arms of bronze. You can see I've gotten a vitality and I've gotten funds from that. Looks like... Oh, hang on. 0.2 seconds. Let's go to work before I get in trouble. I'm better paid than I was, but Mr. Alden has taken an interest in me. Mr. Alden is very particular. Mr. Alden likes things done just so. And Mr. Alden has never believed that I am qualified for this position. Okay. So the reasons ticked over. I think we're slotted for now. Solitude. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Ooh, got some contentment. We'll plop that over there. Let's sort of clean this up a little bit. Alright, an early night. Sometimes I've dreamt of a tall woman in a sand-coloured coat who stands at the foot of my bed, smiling as she watches me sleep. Well, that's not creepy at all. In that dream, she turns her head with the swiftness of a bird, and her fingers flex like talons. I do not think I dreamt of her last night. If I had, I could not have slept so soundly. Well, there we go. Another fleeting reminiscence over here in the corner. Nice. It's not really behaving itself very well, is it? I can't remember. I think you can fiddle with the settings, but again, they're all a bit fart sniffy in their you know, descriptions. So getting to the bottom of it might be a bit of a task. Temptation power, dream of power, meditate on my goal of unearthly power. Should I dedicate myself to my purpose or focus my efforts elsewhere? Now, I think this is your ability to change from the aspect this, forge. I don't think we're going to mess with that just yet. There's a lot to figure out in this game, right? I can dream of this. No, I can't. Maybe there's more to it. Dream, dream, dream. Dream of passion. Let's go. Let's try the moonlit road again. This time I have a Smith's secret. Let's use that law. Because that should help with our sort of main objective. What's this? An acquaintance. I await an answer to a letter. Yeah. Find a potential collaborator. And now I have an address. I'll dispatch a letter and propose a meeting. Talk is unlocked. Mystique. Uncanniness lingers. Mystique may attract the attention of hunters. They can't use it to build a case against you, but it will encourage them to look harder. Yeah, so essentially, you got to be careful generating these. There's other things as well, but what you can have is like special investigators, people that are trying to kill you, people who are trying to investigate you, like police detectives, and they will build a case and they will create evidence, damning evidence, different degrees of evidence. Mystique is the first step towards getting fucked around. Memory, I think there's one, notoriety or something like that. So you become more of a known element. Let memory guide my steps. Memory is a maze and it's hard as a garden. Okay. So I got a contentment. Was that from exploring the fleeting reminiscence? Okay, well that was kind of cool, wasn't it? Explore. We'll explore Moreland's shop, because that's a big core of the loop. So what even is this game? Where are we going with this, Scarlet? Well, what you want to do is start... Again, I have never completed it, but I've played a chunk of it. But you can start equipping people, attracting people to your little organization, your cult. And your cult starts to get like headquarters and build up, and you can start doing pretty nefarious things. You can convince followers to go and potentially interfere with and assassinate like a detective that might be messing with you, or try to destroy evidence, that sort of stuff. But ultimately you want to find locations. I think they're called vaults in this, but they're raids. They're instanced raids. And you need to overcome, not you personally, but all the challenges in the way. So you send your underlings into these raids, and then you equip all these scraps and bits and pieces to try and get past the adversarial components to it, right? And what it will be, it'll be something like secret histories. I don't know if that necessarily is a great example, but you saw Forge before, Moth, all this sort of stuff. But you will have these degrees, these numbered levels of aspects that need overcoming, and you need to essentially match your powers against them to overcome them. So, you know, there is actually there's a proper gameplay loop in here once you start to divine it. But that's barely even scratching the surface. Anyway, Cultist Simulator, it's really cool. I don't really know if it's on special or anything like that at the moment, but I wanted to check it out because Book of Hours is around the corner. Let me know if you want to see some more. We will do some more and dive a bit deeper. Otherwise, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.